roll. Hello and welcome to another episode of Rubicon Unlimited. I'm James, and today we're going to take a look at this Smittybilt Winch. It's been on my Jeep for a while. See how it held up, and spoiler alert, we're going to swap it out with something else. Okay, let's quickly get this out of the way. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And if this video is useful, maybe hit the like button. It helps suggest this video to other people. Thanks. All right, so this is my Smittybilt X20. This is the 10,000 pound synthetic version, and it's been on my Jeep for over 4 years now. I've used it quite a bit. I've used it to recover other Jeeps. I've used it to get myself out of sticky situations. And I've also used it for a little bit of, landscaping, ripping out shrubs, that kind of stuff for my parents. But how has it held up? 4 years on the Jeep is quite a bit, and here in Canada it goes through a lot. Like, we get snow, we got the mud, we got sand, we've got everything. So this thing was really put to the test. I'm happy to report that this winch actually did fairly well. It's hasn't really failed me at all. It has had a few little hiccups here and there. This clutch lever isn't the smoothest. Sometimes it doesn't engage properly. I've actually had to use their customer service once. The wireless switch on the side broke. And funny story about that, I reached out to them. They were very helpful. They said they were going to send me a new part. And I imagine that when they say that, they're going to send me the whole control box to swap in. Wasn't the case. They sent me the switch. That's cool. Like, I can easily swap that in. I know how to do that, but pulling a component off of the winch isn't really the most seamless thing. But yeah. So this thing is going to be retired off of my Jeep, but it's going to a new home. My brother, he's building CJ2A, I think it is. It is a post-war Willys Jeep. So this thing will be, pretty much overkill for it. 10,000 pounds for that little Jeep is going to be amazing. This thing will get it out of anything. So I'm going to hand it over to my brother. If you want, you should follow his channel. It is Schnitzel House, and I will link it below. So go ahead and follow him. He's building his Jeep now. And yeah, this will find a new home over there. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking about this Smittybilt winch. I'm going to remove it now, and then we're going to install this Warn VR and then take a look at it. I'm not going to show you how to install the winch because I've already done a video of installing a winch into this kind of setup, this kind of hard rock or anniversary bumper. So you're going to want to check that video here. It's actually one of the first ones I've ever done. So go check out that video if you're interested in the install. But otherwise, I'm going to get that done right now, and then we can take a look at it. Okay, so I took the Smittybilt off my Jeep and I was about to mount the Warn, and then I realized it's a good time to do a little side-by-side. So both are synthetic line, both are waterproof, both have wired and wireless functionality. So they're in the same kind of ballpark. You could also say that they are the two kind of budget-friendly options. And I say that lightly because they are still pretty expensive, but I think these two winches are your best bang for your buck, just because they have that rich feature set at this price point. This guy, I remember when I got it, I had to spool in the winch line, and it also comes with this hook that is attached. If you ever want to replace this, you'd have to grind it off. It's not like the Warn one where it comes with a pin that's easily removable. So this guy, as you can see, is already pre-spooled, which is super convenient. And that's great because with my setup, you feed this through, attach the hook. With the Smittybilt, you'd install it, and then you'd have to feed the line through the fair lead and then attach it to the drum and wind it up. So I think that's a little backwards. You'd want a removable hook, so that way you can easily remove your bumper if you needed to. A couple pain points were this clutch engaging switch. It's a full 180 degree to get it going, and it's a little clunky. Sometimes it wouldn't engage, sometimes the drum would have to be in a specific spot for it to hook up. Don't really like that. It's not really a satisfying feeling, and that's because I've now experienced this awesome click. It is so satisfying, and it's only a quick 90 degrees to get it engaged, so that's awesome. Another thing is the wire hookup. So a lot of times you're winching from the driver's seat. The Smittybilt has the wire hookup on the passenger side, and that's weird because then you lose that extra bit of line, whereas the Warn is on the driver's side where it should be. So you just hook up and you can easily pass the cable over. Both winches have a wired or wireless style remote, so interchangeable. The Smittybilt is all right. I mean, there's a button here. It changes the mode to wired or wireless. But once you do that, you have to make sure the switch on the control box is also set to wireless. If that's not on, this won't matter. So again, if you're stuck in water and your switch isn't in the on position, you're gonna have to get out and turn it on and then hit your switch. Kind of inconvenient. This thing is also big. It's pretty big and clunky. The buttons are kind of weird. It's all right. It does the trick. I'm being very nitpicky, but compared to this nice pistol grip, much smaller, your glove compartment will thank you. It also has a press and hold function to turn it into the wireless. And then you have your in and out. Nice quiet buttons, weather sealed. It looks good. The pins on it are nice. And the pins actually on the control box are much more robust. The Smittybilt, I know a bunch of buddies that have snapped their pins, so you won't have that problem here with the Warn. Lastly, it's this paint. The Smittybilt has a really flimsy powder coat, and here in Canada there's a lot of snow and salt, so it really was thrown into the deep end here with conditions, and it didn't hold up. It did start flaking and it looks pretty bad. I can see this Warn holding up. You can just tell right off the bat. It's like a thick coating. It's on there really nice, and it's gonna look good for years to come. This Smittybilt, like I said, has been on my Jeep for 4 years and it's already flaking pretty bad. My brother, when he throws it on his Jeep, he's probably gonna repaint it first, and we'll, clean it up, make it look good. Oh, another little bonus. The control box is actually not as wide. And what's good about that is you can now take your grill off completely. With my Smittybilt, I wasn't able to fully disengage the bottom clips. So whenever I had to work on the front end of my Jeep, I wasn't able to take the grill off. With the Warn, I don't think that's gonna be an issue. I'm gonna find out soon enough, but yeah, that's also very nice. It's nice and compact. And yeah, these control boxes can be relocated if you're into that. I wanna keep mine as is, but yeah. Otherwise, the line length is about the same. Pretty happy. Warn is a really good company. They've been doing winches for many years. I believe they started in 1959, and winches are a big part of their business, where Smittybilt, they make a bunch of everything. So these guys are more committed to recovery gear, and they started off over 70 years ago making locking hubs. So this brand's been around for a very long time. Smittybilt, they've also been around for a while, but they make a bunch of everything. So you might have a bit of compromise there, whereas these guys have dedicated a lot of their time and research into winches. Warn is an American company, and they design a lot of their products and manufacture a lot of their products in the US. But both of these winches are made offshore. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna install this thing. So yeah, now that this guy's out, we can drop this guy back in and see how it looks on the Jeep. Want to give you a quick heads up on fitting this winch in this application here, which is a hard rock bumper. We got the vacuum pump here mounted, and I actually had to take it off, and there's these little rubber bushings that fit inside the bracket. So I pulled those off, and then I had to just grind out the mounting point on this corner here and right over here. That just allows me to push the vacuum pump up and over ever so slightly to fit in the extra bit on the side of the winch, just because it gets a little bit in the way. So just grinding that out, and then I'm just gonna put it back together, mount it back up, and then that should all fit in. So if you're following on my original winch install video that I posted a while back, this would just be like an added step to that. I also gotta give credit to some pretty nice hardware. That's always a bonus. We got this bolted up. Okay, that was super easy. We swapped out our Smittybilt and we transplanted our beautiful Warn Winch here. I don't think I mentioned this, but this is the VR Evo 10S. I'm really liking it so far. I've got it hooked up to the battery. I've already ran it. I'm gonna make sure to go ahead and preload the spool. So I'm gonna put some weight on it and re-spool it. But I do appreciate that this winch came already with the line on the spool. That's a big help. This controller is awesome. I love the size of it. The portability is going to be great. I love that this is going to fit in the glove box and not take up too much room. The wireless worked without a hitch. And this thing just looks at home in this bumper. So we got way more clearance between the control module and the grill. So I'll be able to pop off the grill without any trouble. I love that if I need to use the wired, there is the access point on the driver's side. This clutch is a thing of beauty. It just clicks into place so nice. I love the fact that the hook is removable. That is super simple. And I do plan to swap that guy out to the Sidewinder that Warn makes. All the hardware that was included to mount this thing up was top notch. I didn't have any issues there, and the quality of the bolts are really nice. It also comes with this beautiful fair lead, and I'm debating right now whether to put it on. I do have a nice one already installed, but this might go on in the future. But yes, it is included, and it is really nice. Bolts are also included to get this guy bolted up to your bumper. I really think this is gonna look real great for years to come. And it is one of those mods that I recommend doing right off the bat, especially if you go wheeling, because it is cheap insurance. If you need someone to come and winch you out, if that's a towing company, or you might not even have friends that are close enough to come get you, that's a bad situation to be in. These winches may seem to be pricey, but if you were to pay someone to come get you, it's probably going to cost more than one of these. So worthwhile investment. It's cheap insurance to get you out of a sticky situation. So definitely highly recommend getting a winch on your rig. For more information about this Warn VR Evo, I'm going to leave a link below so you guys can take a look. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel because we got more mods coming up. We got other things to do. There's probably going to be an awning on this Jeep at some point. So yeah, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one.